Hello, Militia Patriot 1 here. Welcome back to my channel. Recently surfing YouTube, I was inspired to start a new series. So, welcome to What the Fuck Episode 1. That's right, this is What the Fuck Episode 1. I'd like to say a quick kudos to Body X Politic for noticing the intentional beep mishap on the last video. I meant that to throw a little bit of humor into a quite serious video, and he caught it. So anyway, that's why I'm dubbing this What the Fuck Episode 1. While I got this over the name tape on my uniform, I want to let you know who I am before I get into What the Fuck Episode 1. I'll go ahead and tell you who I am. I'm a veteran, haven't seen combat. I'll go ahead and tell you that up front. I haven't seen combat, but I am a veteran. I did serve my country 4.5 years. I do know a lot about explosives, and I do know a lot about weapon systems, but I just can't find a job in the civilian world to match up to that. So anyway, enough about me. On to What the Fuck Episode 1. In case you're wondering why I mess up and there's takes in between, I had a motorcycle accident where I split all the plates in my head, was in a coma for a few days, so everything doesn't come out all at once anymore. But I get my point across, you just got to take little cuts and breaks in between. Recently, while viewing a Judge Napolitano video about the FBI creating terrorists, I thought, what the fuck? The FBI has foiled 17 plots to attack the United States. Now, they have created, that's right, the FBI created 20 plots to attack the United States. 3 of which were foiled by citizens. 17 the FBI has taken direct credit for, but they actually found young Muslim loners and coached them into doing this. I've had friends on Facebook. Now, a lot of us patriots are friends with each other. But when I see a patriot with over 2,000 and 3,000 friends, I get a little worried because they have an agent in their midst. That's right, folks. Department of Homeland Security, there's a document, I don't know if it was leaked or just published by Anonymous, but it was published by Anonymous, and even password-protected websites are monitored regularly. The FBI has a department of agents working on Facebook. Now, if you've ever had a friend of yours in the Patriot circles on Facebook, try to suggest something you could do whether it's a racial crime. Now, I know we all love throwing bacon at a mosque, but I'm talking about an actual hate crime, for whether it's a hate crime or actually try to sell you grenades. That's right, someone tried to sell me a grenade once. Delete, bye-bye. I'm a fucking ordnanceman. You think I don't know how a grenade works? How to put it together? I can do that shit right here. Anyway, FBI fail. The FBI agents use third parties. That's right. Tell them, Judge.
In some cases, the federal agents used third parties to act as middlemen. The third parties were typically persons who had been convicted of crimes and who, in return for leniency at their own sentencings, were willing to work with the same feds who prosecuted them in order to help the feds entrap whomever else those feds were pursuing.
These terror plots, they weren't a threat to anybody. Okay, the FBI's coaching these guys, and nobody was at any risk. They were talking people into agreeing to purchase bombs or agreeing to carry out a plot, and then they would deliver the cash and never the bombs. This is, talk about homegrown terrorism. This is homegrown, home-funded, home-coached terrorism. It was just a game by those FBI agents, but this is serious shit. I mean, this is something dead-ass serious.
They all have a common and reprehensible thread. They were planned, plotted, controlled, and carried out by the federal government itself.
The government's picking and choosing who they're going to pick up, and the government's picking and choosing who they're going to coach. Now, if you're online on Twitter, Facebook, Yahoo, anywhere else where you can voice your opinion, and someone is trying to edge you into saying what you should do, what you could do. If you reveal too much information, you could have DHS at your door, or all of a sudden you start getting friend requests out of the blue after a comment you made on somebody's wall. Be very careful. Be very careful. Courts have made it legal. That's right. Tell them, Judge.
The courts have made this legal, so long as the target of these plots had a mental predisposition to cause harm.
The courts have allowed the FBI agents to coach young Muslim men into creating incidents that they can use for a war on terror. Now, if we're actually at war on terror, you would think that there would have been legitimate attacks that have been foiled by our Homeland Security. Billions and billions of dollars go into defending our country, and they haven't had an attack yet. Think about that. Think about the fact that they haven't had an attack that they foiled that wasn't brought on and coached by the FBI. I know personally I get very heated, and I have a very strong opinion, and I let everybody that I'm friends with, Twitter, Facebook, I let them all know about it. But now looking back on that, I wonder if that post to a friend of mine was public, or if it wasn't. I look back on it, and now this isn't paranoia. This is just me trying to cover my six. So what I'm doing now is listen, if you've watched my videos, you know that I don't advocate any type of violence. I think every Muslim should try bacon at least once. But I'm not a violent person. I'm not trying to advocate violence. I'm trying to throw some knowledge your way so that you know exactly what's going on. All right, there is enough shit going on in the world. We're a nation gone bankrupt. All right, there is enough going on without needing this shit. We actually have to create terror plots for the FBI to thwart and fight off. If there was an actual threat, then we wouldn't need to do this. We all know Eric Holder that needs to be in prison and needs to be Bubba's cellmate. Let Bubba have his way with him once or twice. Set his ass straight. And now, what did you say? When did you say this happened, Judge? The day before, or the day after?
And this plot came to light the day before Attorney General Holder himself was subpoenaed by Congress in the Fast and Furious case.
This made me think, what the fuck? So that's why I bring you What the Fuck, Episode 1. As always, thanks for watching. Please like, rate, sub, whatever. I appreciate the feedback. I always try and comment back to you guys. Appreciate everything, and we'll see you next time. This is Militia Patriot 1. Over, out.
In all of these 17 cases, from the Fort Dix 6 to the Lackawanna 7 to the Portland parade bomber, the feds found young men of Muslim backgrounds, loners who were bitter at America. They befriended them, cajoled them, and persuaded them that they could change the world by killing Americans. In all these cases, agents worked undercover and portrayed themselves to the targets as Arabs of like un-American mind. Thus, in all 17 of these cases, because of the command and control of federal agents, no one was ever in danger, no one was harmed, no bomb went off, and no property was damaged. But in all those cases, the losers whom the feds targeted each believed that they were interacting with real plotters who would bring them cash and bombs. As we know, sometimes the cash arrived, but the bombs never did. The defendants were essentially charged and convicted for playing a game with federal agents. You get the picture. Are any of these plots criminal? Can the government just pick and choose whom to seduce and then lower the boom at the right time and arrest its would-be Confederates? Is this a proper and efficient use of law enforcement resources? The answers to these questions are obvious, and they are not good. But none of this keeps us safe. All of this makes us less free, as any one of us can be entrapped. and we are fools if we praise the government for exposing a plot of its own creation and saving us from a danger that never existed.